Hello, welcome to Drawing with Bubbles. Today I'm drawing Mario from Super Mario. I think that's what it would be. I don't know what game this specific Mario is from, but it's the new one that you'd play on the Wii or whatever, not the old pixely one. So, anyways, this image was requested by Evan, who seems to like requesting Nintendo characters, so that's okay. I need practice drawing things other than girls just standing and staring off into the distance, so thank you, Evan. I think this might be the longest time I've ever spent on a single drawing. I mean, that's not really saying much because it was only like 2.5 hours, but I don't know. I'm okay with that because I got to listen to the whole Hamilton soundtrack, so thanks again. And I'm already through the sketch and the second sketch, so now I'm working on the line art. Unfortunately, with this line art, I forgot to not merge. I forgot to create separate layers for the different colors of line art, so I had to go in and manually color that. It didn't really take up too much extra time, but it was still kind of tedious and less perfect than far from perfect, but less precise than it would have been if I had separate layers for all the colors, because right now it's just like I have one layer of line art for Mario, one layer of line art for the pipes, one layer for the Goomba, etc., etc. I'm actually very happy with how this picture turned out, partially because of all the time spent on it, and also because of the background. As I've mentioned, I'm trying to get better at backgrounds, and I figure the only way for me to do that is to practice. One thing I want to point out here is those bricks there. In the sketch, you might have seen they kind of look like poo, but that's okay because I drew them in the line art just straight on, and then I copied that bricks since they're it's the same pattern for all the bricks, and then I used the transform tool to kind of warp it to the right shape. So if you see that, it's kind of moving all around because I don't know what I'm doing, but I figured it out eventually. So I'm almost done with the line art here. I'm just finishing up the Venus flytrap or whatever that thing is, and the Goomba. You might notice during the line art and during the coloring too, there's a second of a pause because, sped up, but that's me Googling a reference because there's no way I could do this from memory. I haven't played Mario enough for that. Now I'm working on the coloring, which I really want to talk about because I am very happy with how this coloring turned out, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of push the shading that I did to the extreme. So I'll have little pop-ups on the screen to show you what I'm talking about. So if I was doing red, here's how I would shade it before. So what I would do is I take the red and then I go darker and then I maybe move it a little bit down on the color wheel for a cooler color. And it looked okay. It didn't look dull if I would have just moved it dark. But it wasn't quite as colorful and lively as I might have wanted. And so this time, especially since it's Mario and that's a really colorful thing anyways, I wanted to test how far I could go. So so if red was my base color, I would move the cursor down to all the way to a purple and use that. And once it's all blended, it looks like it's still red. At least in my opinion, it's close enough. Obviously it's more extreme than real life, but it's a drawing, so that's okay. And here I'm just adding the sky. For the reference for the clouds in the sky, I just googled Mario wallpaper, and then that gave me good enough results. There were a lot of different ones, so I just went with the one that I liked best. So now I'm coloring the pipes, and you can also see when I'm shading, I start with the green, and then instead of just going to a darker green, I go to a blue. So now you can see me coloring the line art, which I mentioned before is all on one layer, so I had to actually pay attention to what I was doing instead of just using the fill tool. And now I'm working on the bricks. I keep saying this, now I'm working on this, but it's right in front of you, you can probably tell. I'll just talk about this picture as a whole. I really wanted to focus on detail because backgrounds for me, usually I don't put enough effort into them. Like, even the Snow White one, which I'm happy with, I didn't put as much time in because I didn't even look up references for the trees. But this one, I wanted to try extra hard, and I'm glad. I feel like it really paid off, so I need to start drawing something interesting so that I have something to talk about. Oh, starting the Venus flytrap thing. Shading on the like leafy and stem part of the Venus flytrap, that was kind of difficult to get the right color because I didn't want it to look exactly like the pipe. But in the references, it was almost exactly like the pipe, but it looked weird, so I wanted to change it, but I didn't want to change it too much because I wanted it to be recognizable. So now I'm just finishing up the coloring on the Goomba, and then I'll be adding finishing touches, like adding highlights on the eyes, adding a little bit of blue to Mario's eyes, and then like fixing up one little mistake I found in the line art, which you can see me doing now. And here is the finished illustration. Remember to rate, comment your suggestions, and subscribe. Bye!